Tonight we're in Brussels. That's right, Lotus. A place that certainly loves the color of your music. I think your music reflects the city's atmosphere, dark but at the same time colorful and beautiful. Isn't it good to be back, Steve?
I love it here, man. It's great.
What does it mean to you, Brussels, Belgium?
I mean, the first thing I always trip on is just the beautiful architecture here, and the roads, and that's all. That's what I see immediately, and it's such a stony place. It's just very beautiful, and the people are very warm as well. And I enjoy the diversity of the language and the silly accents and stuff.
When I think of the rise and shine of Flying Lotus, I have to think back when you worked as an intern at Stone's Throw, hustling to get your music out. Like you didn't really know what to do with it and where to go with it. And now, 4 or 5 years later, look at you, man.
Yeah, I feel pretty good, man. It's been an interesting journey. It's been a fun road, and full of its own characters and trials and tribulations. But it's been good. I'm glad to be doing it. I'm just glad to be in a position where people care.
So, Warp Records? Warp, Cosmogramma, May 3rd in the UK and Europe, and May 4th in the United States. First of all, the cover. Who drew it?
This amazing artist named Lee McCloskey. He's kind of a mentor of mine who I met through Dr. Strangeloop. He's an old actor who just kind of like started painting one day. And just a Renaissance man. The cat plays piano, and he's just painting his whole attic space. It's just the most beautiful psychedelic thing ever. And he also created these books called the Codexes that she's like amazing watercolor. And eventually I summoned up the balls to ask him if I could use his work as my album cover. And he said yeah, and it's been great. I've been so connected to his art over the years, so it's really nice to be able to have that
Beautiful cover.
the whole piece and see the whole thing.
Oh, is there a whole piece? Like, is the cover just a piece of it? Oh, so when you open up the cover, it's like a whole piece. Wow, gatefold. So I listened to the whole album, and listening to it, I think I can mix the first album and the second album, and I would have the third album. It feels like you took the strange waves or ways of the second album and the basics of the first album and made a third album and make it more musical. Can you relate to that?
I agree with the musical part as far as like combining all elements maybe. There were definitely different headspaces, different times in my life, and each thing means something different to me. And yeah, this one, I really wanted to just not focus so much on all the technical stuff. Even though it's there, I really just wanted to make sure it was the most musical thing it could be, and not just like, look what I can do with the bass lines or whatever. I wanted it to really be something that could stand the test of time.
Los Angeles in 2009 means that you moved to a new, quiet and beautiful place, surrounded by great artists. Is that an extra influence or inspiration for you?
It's different. I don't know if it's the best, because I feel more distracted now than I've ever been, But it's definitely different. It's a different pace in my life, and I don't think I'm gonna stay in that place now. I'm probably gonna move out in September when my lease is up. I just don't like being right there. People pass through like, yo, I'm just gonna go do this thing real quick, but I'll be right by your house. You wanna get high? Yeah. Of course I would say yeah.
On the album, you worked with your cousin, Ravi Coltrane, Stefan Thundercat, who used to play for Suicidal Tendencies, but who I've seen play with Miguel Edward Ferguson, who's also on the album, and Tom York, which is huge. What kind of experience is it to work with such great artists? Or how did it work out, actually?
I honestly didn't. There was a big part of me that didn't feel comfortable with working with other people, because I always felt like I couldn't communicate the musical language properly. But after working with Thundercat for a while, he made me feel more confident that I knew what I was talking about. He's like, no, I get it. And then he'll do it. He'll do the lick that I want. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, okay, this is working. And then it's been a really inspiring thing, because I feel now that I can extend my musical abilities by reaching out to people and getting certain things out. It helps give the music new life and new wings that I didn't think I originally conceived, and I love that.
Ever thought of doing a live show with these guys, like with Thundercat on bass, for example?
I'm gonna do it in May. Yeah, we're gonna do something. Miguel and Thundercat, Rebecca in May in LA.
Wow, no Tom York? No Tom York? If there's someone, and I think there's someone, you want to dedicate this album to, who would it be?
Dedicated to my mom. I made this, and her spirit guiding me. I feel like my mom was the driving force behind the whole record. Her essence and her absence now, it changed my life, to a point where I felt like I had something to say again, and it's her record, it's her ascension song.
It seems that Brainfeeder does well, but where do you see the label in a couple of years from now?
Well, the thing I'd like to see the most from Brainfeeder is it kind of having its own legs without me, without me having to speak for it all the time. It'd be really cool if this whole operation could go on without me, and I really like to see that, and we're getting really close to it, and I think that there's so much to do still. We got pretty crazy signings coming up, which I can't reveal just yet, but yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something really special. It already is. We got this Datalist album coming out pretty soon, and we got Lauren after that, and Teebs, and Sam I Am, and Austin Peralta, and Jeremiah J.
Who's the cat everybody needs to check out now, today?
I'd say Jeremiah J. I'm really into his stuff. We just signed him to Brainfeeder. He's only 20. He's such a switched on kid. He really gets it. He really gets the idea of that hypnotic trance state that you can put people in with the music and really help them go on a journey. And I can really identify with that sound, and it really moves me in a way that a lot of music doesn't. And I always feel like, damn, am I hating on people now? Am I like really just not feeling shit or whatever? But then you hear something like that's really genuine, and it's undeniable, And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel like his shit is really dope. Jeremiah J.
What video game are you playing these days?
Heavy Rain, PlayStation 3, an incredible game. Go buy it. Cinematic experience. Play it in French with subtitles if you have to, but you guys speak French.
Thanks, LeFtO.